This is Dufour's new 41. They launched this at the Cannes and Southampton boat shows last year, and it's a really nice boat. And we're going to take a full tour of this one and tell you what it's all about. So we'll wander back down here. There is in fact access onto here from the side. You can have a fender step, and you can see they put a break in the rail here. You can see how these come across. So if you want a sideboard, you can do, but the easiest way on is to come around the back. We've got the drop bathing platform here. You can see in fact how there's a ladder then that can drop into the water, and also storage for a life raft down underneath here. Little step there, just makes it dead easy to step on board, and away you go. I'm going to pause and just show you this briefly because there's a big lazarette in here. Look at this. So if you wanted things like a generator or a water maker or that sort of stuff, that's where it would live. Twin helms on here. It's a fin keel with a bulb and a single rudder, but you've got the two helms because of course as the boat heels you want to be on the upper side looking past the sails. That's why they have that. You'll notice this little silver disc here, that's for emergency steering, so if your helm's ever failed you can directly connect to the rudder and still control the boat. They've put a nice lot of seating in here all the way around. They've made this a really big open social area, very substantial table in the centre as well, and these are lift up sections of course, so you can increase the size of this hugely. We've got the consoles here for navigation, so the multifunction displays. You've got the compass there as well of course, and a similar deal over here, except on this side you've got bow thruster control and the engine control, so when you're manoeuvring in harbour this is where you would handle it from. That little pad there's for an auxiliary outboard for your tender, and you can see how all the controls for everything from the halyards to the sheets and so forth, everything leads back to the cockpit, either back here for sailor handling or halyards and so forth are up here. I think we'll take a look inside first of all, and then we'll work our way back and out and round. Big spray hood on this one, a lot of protection for this area, which of course is what you need. These open or close, of course, like so, and then there is a hatch that comes across like so. So that's how that closes up, and then we've got the steps down into the cabin. This is a nice big area in here. It's a beamy boat, and you feel it most I think when you come down here. Look at that, that's a decent size, isn't it? You've got choices of wood. This is light oak, but you can have like more of a darker teak, I think it is, finish if you prefer. I like the way this is completely separate over to the side rather than the table in the centre that you have to crawl around. And then we've got the galley over on this side, so this of course is your sink, your big top loading fridge. Top loading of course is very helpful on a sailing boat because it's heeling over a lot of the time. You don't want to open the front door and have everything falling out. But in fact you can access it from there as well, so when you're in harbour it can be a conventional fridge, but when you're sailing, as I say, top access. Storage across here, oven which is gimbaled, I've no doubt, yes it is, so that will basically stay straight when the boat's heeling over. Drawers here of course, and decent hull windows as well in this one. Look at this here, across here, and also you've got them up here as well with little opening sections about the place. If we spin on round a bit further and head forward, then this is the owner's cabin. And they've pushed this right up into the bow. The actual anchor chain locker is sort of forward and below slightly. You access it by taking that end panel off. And what that means is there isn't a conventional deck access to the anchor chain locker, and that means that they could push this right up into the bow. And it means you've got a big surface area here, footprint, call it what you will. For a size of boat, that's a really good size, and I like the fact you can get around the bed as well. A lot of these you can't, they're sort of really squeezed into the edges. They've put storage, loads of it, so hanging rail there, that's a big shelving area. There's more storage down here, there's more storage up and behind here, so a lot of places to put things away, and a lot of light into here as well because you've got the hull windows. Also these windows here, these all have blinds that come across them, and then hatches here, here and here, so a lot of ventilation, a lot of light, and you've got the LED lighting around the place as well. This has its own ensuite, thusly, and you've got the separate shower area on that side. And again, little hatch for ventilation, and you've got them blinds that come across here, so bug screen if you want it, and a privacy screen. So that's very good. If we head on back, and we'll pause just to take that in again. The layout on this one is 3 cabins and 3 heads compartments, but you can vary the use of this one over here. But we'll start over on this side. So this is like a wet room really. It's a toilet and you've got the shower there as well. You've got a bit of storage in behind places like this, and you've got a little mirror wave. So that's all nice and self-contained, and then there's a really decent guest cabin in here, double bed. Again, you've got storage of course about the place, so this kind of thing. Also engine access, so you can get to the sides of the engine by removing these panels down here. You can get to the front of the engine very easily, and I'll show you that in a moment. And again, we've got opening windows down here, we've got more windows up here and up above, so plenty of air into there. And if we cross over, same kind of deal really. Double bed, plenty of light, hull windows, storage, and so forth. But this is interesting because on this one, they've opted for a completely separate shower cubicle. So very, very nice. There's the shower just there. But you can have a toilet in there as well. So if you want to have 3 separate heads, you can do. Or like this, you can just have a proper dedicated shower area. Or if you want, if that's a big storage locker, they'll just shelve it out, take all the stuff out, shelve it out, and you can have that just for storage. So it depends how you spec the boat, of course, when it's new. Let's go and take a wander around the outside. Pop my shoes back on. It's a nice big area out here, isn't it? And what they've done is they've made it so you can walk around it and out onto the side decks without scrambling over seats, which I think is a good idea. So we can just step onto here and away we go. Again, we've got one of these side gates. And notice they've got the sort of bridle arrangement here for the main sheet rather than the track that they normally have, and the reason for that is to keep that forward and out of the way, which gives you space for a larger cockpit and a really good size spray hood. I like the way they put these little handles on here, and they're up here as well. But yeah, that's something we're seeing more and more of now in order to facilitate that. This one's got slab reefing. You can have in-mast furling if you prefer, and that is the mast in question. It's big, isn't it? Look at that. There we go, nice day for it as well. Very, very uncluttered side decks because all of the sheets are running along the coach roof, which is excellent. There's not even any cars on here. These are what I mean is these little pulley systems here, which you can adjust backwards and forwards. They're all on the coach roof. You can wander around here without stubbing your toes on anything. Up here, you've got the choice. You can either have the self-tacking jib, or you can have a jib that overlaps and you have to tack manually. And then we've got roller furling for that, right up the front. Jib, genoa. Genoa is probably the right word, isn't it? But also little bowsprit. So if you want a code 0 or cruising chute, that sort of stuff, then you can have that if you wish to. And this is the anchor winch. You see what I mean? It's right at the very, very bow of the boat. You can see the front of the boat stops just ahead of that, and so that goes down in front of the cabin, and the anchor chain locker then is down below that. And the anchor itself, of course, as you can see, is stowed in the bowsprit. Nice, isn't it? So there we go. Let's wander back down this side. I didn't show you the engine. I walked straight past it. Let's go and have a look at that, and I'll tell you a little bit about performance as well. So if we come back down here again, you can walk right around it and you can see how these back sections lift. So that drops down when you are underway, and then you've got, of course, the seating all the way around, and these little rails here come across then, as you can see on this side. Similar kind of deal. Good. Let's go and talk about the engine. How did I walk past that? I even mentioned it, didn't I? So what we've got in here is a 60 horsepower Volvo Penta, and that lives underneath here. There we go. As mentioned, you do have little access traps in the side, so if you're doing some more serious maintenance, you can get right around it. But this, just for checking your water, checking your oil, just your daily checks really, is very, very easy. So 60 horsepower, And that is going to drive the boat along at probably about 8 knots flat out and cruising at 6 knots. When you're sailing, you'd probably sail at around 7 to 8 knots, that sort of area. Maximum speed, well, of course, as ever with sailing boats, depends how brave you are, but certainly you're up into the low teens with a boat like this. And range, under sail, it's unlimited, isn't it? As long as the wind keeps blowing, you're going to keep going. Fabulous. There we go. I'm glad I remembered that. That'd have been embarrassing, wouldn't it? I'd have got home and been editing it and thought, how did I forget that? So there we go. I'm going to finish off here. I'm going to say massive thanks to Universal Yachting. They organised this tour. Massive thanks as ever to you guys for watching it. Let me know what you think of that fine ship. Nice to have a sailing boat on the channel again, and we'll catch you on one of these real soon. Take care. Bye bye.